What's going on, y'all? Machiavelli Mills TV. Now, this news that I'm about to share with y'all makes me smile ear to ear as a Chicago resident, as a Chicago native. 24-year-old rapper, Chicago rapper, G Herbo, Vic Mensa, Chance the Rapper, and Joey Perp, all Chicago residents, all Chicago natives, have come together to purchase Anthony Overton Elementary School, and they opened the building as a space for community development. The rappers not only bought the school, but they marched through the Southside neighborhood of Bronzeville, handing out over 2,000 backpacks filled with school supplies, and they also had a voter registration section available for people to register to vote. They had free COVID-19 testing and also had an HIV testing center or station for the citizens of the Bronzeville neighborhood. And this is what I'm talking about, man. This is what I'm talking about, young brothers. Be the change that you want to see in your neighborhoods and in your communities so you can change the narrative surrounding Chicago, Illinois, man. Like, I'm so proud of these young men. For real, these are some very, very, very young brothers. None of them are 30 years old yet. But for them to buy back the block and buy back the neighborhood and purchase an elementary school and turn it into a center for community development, that's absolutely huge, man. And for me, when I see G Herbo doing something like this, all I could think of is, man, use this facility for the greater good of the Chicago residents, Chicago citizens, but most importantly, the Chicago youth. For real, this is where it's going to hit home. Their community, I used to live up the street from Anthony Overton Elementary School. I was on 48th in Indiana, right? Like right up the street from Anthony Overton. And that neighborhood is a black neighborhood. A lot of young black boys are living in that area. Some of them some of them possibly come from homes of dysfunction. Some of them possibly come from two-parent homes. Nevertheless, whether they're coming from a single-parent home or a two-parent home, a lot of these kids could use a facility to where they could spend time to do something productive other than trying to run the streets and be dumb muscle for these fake OGs. They got these young boys out here wilding for their ignorance, right? These community centers could be used for so much good for these babies, and I'm just happy to know that this is something that they did for the neighborhoods and for the community, man. Like, they are creating opportunities for the youth of Chicago and the youth of the Bronzeville neighborhood to have a future where they can use their mind to do something beyond illegal activity and gang activity. For real, like, with this, man, I'm looking at her, especially G Herbo, like, especially with the background that he has. Let these young shorties understand that their environment does not dictate their future. And at the same time, better the environment surrounding these kids, man. Better their environment. You know, I always hear stories about people saying that, you know, we gotta move out the hood, move away from the hood and don't never return. And I never hear people really talking about just improving the hood, improving the conditions of the hood and adding resources to the hood to make it a better and safe place, make it a safer place for the residents to live. Make it a place where, you know, kids have somewhere to be involved in recreational activity. Make it a place where they have somewhere safe to go to after school to possibly get tutoring, possibly have like an after school program where they could, you know, just interact with one another and live together in peace. And that's what I think this community center, that's what they are going to turn Anthony Overton Elementary School into. This community development center, man, it got so much potential, and I'm just really, really glad for these young men, man. Like, again, with this move, Herbo, Vic Mensa, Chance the Rapper, Joey Perp, they buying back the community and putting the property to great use, where the kids could possibly learn so many different things that are essential to navigating society and being a productive member of society, but also a level-headed young man, right? Teach them how to resolve conflict peacefully. Because I always said conflict resolution should be in the school curriculums in the city of Chicago. Teach these kids how to resolve issues without resorting to violence, without resorting to the worst ends of it. You know what I mean? Teach these kids how to talk through their problems and situations. So, you know, a lot of this, because a lot of the stuff that's happening in Chicago, a lot of the negativity, a lot of the deaths that have occurred, have occurred over misunderstandings, people not being able to think before they react, and acting off impulse, and their whole lives changing for the worse. You know what I mean? Somebody ends up getting killed. Another person end up going to jail for 30 years. Their life is ruined because they didn't take the time out to think, breathe, and talk their way through a situation rather than act off impulse. And I believe this community development center can teach these kids those necessary skills to be able to navigate life much smoothly without having to deal with, going to jail and all this other negative stuff, dealing in gangs and all that type of stuff. Teach them how to handle conflict as a responsible young adult or a responsible young person without having to commit atrocities against your brothers, against your neighbors. That ain't what black folks need to be doing at all right now. And I'm just so happy that I mentioned G Herbo because he was an individual that him and his homeboys became products of their environment. The harsh environments of living in the South Shore neighborhood in the area that they call Terrytown, living over there, and they became products of that environment. But now with this community center, they can ensure that these kids don't become products of their environment, but also better the environments around them so that they can have a better chance of succeeding in life and being the leaders of tomorrow. With this community center, this community development center has so much potential, man. You can teach these kids to develop the social, emotional learning qualities that would teach them not to let their emotions overpower their intelligence. You know what I mean? Not to let their emotions of anger and frustration get them into a world of trouble. And that's what matters to me, man. Like, they are being the change they want to see in Chicago, and they are leading by example. Again, this facility could be used for so much good, man. These kids can be having youth basketball leagues in this facility, flag football teams in the facility, all different type of just cool stuff that can be used to get them out of the streets and not, to curb to curb the street influence and let these kids, and it could be a safe haven for these kids to understand, hey, I don't need the streets. I got my friends, I got my people, I got these adults in the community who care about me, who want to see me succeed. I can go to college and do something productive with my time. They can use this facility, as I mentioned, for a tutoring place to get these kids equipped to enhance their academics and also have safe and healthy fun in this facility, playing sports and all that type of stuff, man. Like, this is a great way to change the narrative about Chicago and the young people that the city produces, because there is this notion that the city only produces savages and goons and young, ignorant, wild shorties that just don't know how to behave. You know what I mean? Because they see the antics of the drill rappers or the rappers that come out of the hood that are also, involved in gang activity, and they think that this is all that Chicago produces. Change that narrative, man. Like, and let people know that it's more to Chicago than just savages. It's human beings living in Chicago. Human beings with a future. Human beings with families that care about them, that want to see them do good, that are encouraging them to do the right thing at all times. And I'm just glad that these young men, Joey Perk, Vic Mensa, G Herbo, Chance the Rapper, they bought this school and are going to turn it into something good for the youth. And all while they turned it into something good for the youth, while celebrating this, they still provided services for the community, as this community, the development center, will do. And that's what I'm proud of, man. Also got to give a shout out to G Herbo, to Herb, because he also has an initiative that he created called Swerving Through Stress, I believe it's called. It's like a play on his nickname, Swervo. And this initiative is a way for youth to receive counseling and guidance for post-traumatic stress disorder. PTSD is a real thing that people in the hood suffer from. You know what I mean? These kids have seen the most horrible traumas that you could ever experience. Some of them have seen the loved ones get killed right in front of them, had parents killed, had friends killed, have possibly even been shot themselves, whether it was intentionally or on accident, right? And this initiative will teach these kids how to be able to cope with the trauma that they have endured and for them to learn how to evolve past it. And this is crucial for the young kids, again, who have lost friends and family members to gun violence and gang violence, as people don't really think about how these traumatic experiences, such as seeing your loved one getting killed and all that type of stuff, can negatively shape a young person and lead them down a road to destruction. G Herbo has helped to produce this initiative to let the kids know that they're not weird for the PTSD that they're experiencing, because we know the stigma surrounding black people and mental health. A lot of black people only want to act like, mental health issues is for other people, it's not for black folks at all. Black folks don't go through mental health issues. We just strong-minded, we overcome everything. And no, black people also suffer from mental illnesses as well, and we have things that ail us, and post-traumatic stress disorder is something that ails a lot of black people, and we don't understand it and know it until we've grown, or we get a little older and have knowledge on these things. But G Herbo producing this initiative and putting it out there lets these kids know that they can evolve past PTSD and lead healthy and productive lives. And with this, Herbo is doing something powerful. He's doing some powerful stuff in the community, and I gotta tip my hat to that young brother, because this is special to me. Especially seeing like Chance the Rapper been a person that's been doing it for a very long time, man. Like, I gotta tip my hat to Chance, because Chance been a person who's been advocating for Chicago for a very long time. That's always been, in representing Chicago in a positive manner, in a positive light. That's been out here making sure, like, he giving back to the Chicago public school system to help these babies get educated and get the resources that the schools in the far rich suburbs have. And that is something that matters too. Help put these kids in position to have the resources to be able to compete with the other kids at other schools and have an equal opportunity to go to these prestigious universities and get these big degrees and achieve their wildest dreams. So Chance the Rapper been putting money into the hood for a very long time, and I gotta salute that brother, because I'm so proud of him, man. Vic Mensa been doing the same. I don't know much about Joey Pert, but I think he founded Save Money, the clique, or the collective, the musical collective that Chance the Rapper is a part of. So I'm sure him and Chance have been working hand in hand and doing some great things in the city, man. And I'm just happy to see these young black men in Chicago making a change and trying to eradicate the negativity that surrounds young black men in Chicago. It's so many black men in Chicago that I went to school with that got master's degrees, that are teaching the youth, that are working prominent positions and coming back and helping every summer, that are tutoring these babies. That's like, just being big brothers and mentors to the kids in the neighborhood. And it never gets talked about because people only want to focus on the negative in Chicago. They want to talk about how, Chicago got all these killers and that's all it's doing, and acting like Chicago is a hellhole and the worst place in America. And I want people to recognize that there's so much more to Chicago than the savages and brutes that y'all think is running around on here like we on an episode of Spartacus, or we watching 300 or something like that. It's hardworking people who love their families, who love their friends, who love the people in their neighborhood, and they're trying to do something to change the neighborhood that they're in, all while ensuring that the individuals in their family and their kids go on to lead successful, productive lives and be the change that they want to see in the community. But all of this that these rappers, these young men are doing, it makes me proud to be a citizen and resident of Chicago, Illinois. And I hope that other young rappers and not even just rappers, people who are in positions, people who are in positions of prominence, come back and do the same thing. Buy the hood back, y'all. Come on, man. Y'all black brothers, y'all, they got family members and y'all grew up in a lot of these neighborhoods that are impoverished. Come back and put money into the hood so that things could change. Things could change for the better, and that, the other kids can have a bright future. Your nieces, your nephews, your kids, your friends' kids, or your friends' cousins, and all of that can have productive lives and go on to do great things. But it all starts with things like this. buying back facilities in the hood that are, no longer being used, renovating them and opening these facilities as community development centers that will enrich the whole hood. Machiavelli Mills TV, peace.